Uncharted 1, you've heard it all before. It's the rough beginning to Naughty Dog's most famous series. Although maybe now that belongs to The Last of Us, but that's a topic for another day. It's held up by stellar characters, great voice acting, but the gameplay and the story themselves are a bit lackluster. It was the first time this company was trying to do this kind of game, and they had to get their footing a little bit, and we all know how they did with Uncharted 2.
You got a great ass, Sully.
But I want to talk about Uncharted 1 today because I recently replayed it, and I could just regurgitate all the shit I just said in a long 4 or 5 minute video, but I wanted to highlight the part of the game that really saved the experience for me replaying it, because honestly, for the most part, this game is just really monotonous and not as much fun as I originally had thought when I played it as a kid. You know, for the first like 4 hours of the game, it's a fun little action adventure. Nathan Drake's making quips, he's shooting dudes, he shoots a lot of dudes, like mass murderer type numbers, but that's fine. It doesn't matter in these kind of games. You're just here to have fun. It's not trying to teach you a lesson. But essentially for 4 hours, you're going through the same gameplay loop. You're just shooting a bunch of henchmen, a bunch of goons from cover. There's a jet ski section that I hate so much. Whoever made this, I will find you. Trust me, I will. Just when I think the game is like, you know, I'm kind of falling asleep a little bit. One eye's open, one's half open. They pull me back in. Now, up to this point, the game has been pretty grounded in terms of story and plot. You're just kind of exploring this destroyed Spanish colony in the search for El Dorado, which is actually a statue, not a whole city. But it's at this moment that I remembered they're trying to do an Indiana Jones-like adventure. And in Indiana Jones, there's always some fuck shit going on later in the plot. And Uncharted was dropping subtle hints, but you're not really paying attention, and then boom, they dick slap you in the face with these fucking zombie creatures.
Eddie, get back here! Oh, crap.
Finally, since the beginning of the game, the gameplay has evolved to just not just cover shooting against bad guys with guns. You're fighting zombie creatures where you have to stay mobile. You can't melee attack them. And I can't lie, this is some dope action movie shit where you and your arch nemesis kind of go back to back and team up to defeat this common enemy as they're just trying to swarm you. The first real good set piece in the game, the first non-formulaic thing, and it's so fucking beautiful. And man, we're just getting started, bro. Long live Eddie, rest in peace, but what a wasted opportunity in my opinion. He was like the only interesting villain in this game, and I think he could have been a cool like recurring anti-hero throughout the series if they kept him alive, who's kind of like a rival to Nathan Drake, and he could have been a fan favorite, I think. But unfortunately they hoed him. And now it's time. I love when games give you tutorials when there's like an hour left. It's like, you can do this, by the way, this is a mechanic. But it was in this chase scene, I was like, this is the first section of game where I felt like actual like genuine tension and fear, like running for my life from these zombie things. And this is probably like the wow moment that stands out for me from this one. I think it's like the only candidate, you know, Uncharted 2, you got the train, you got the plane, Uncharted 3, you got shit like that. But this one, the moment that stands out in my mind always is getting chased by these motherfuckers. But now we're getting to the best part. No, not the annoying climbing, but the Nazi facility. Can I say that? This evil Germans from the 1940s facility is such a great change of pace and really shows the creativity and the potential that this game had, and that was realized in the other ones. And man, it's just kind of creepy walking around these halls with the little white pale dudes stalking you. And normally I'd be like, this isn't scary, I played Dead Space. But you have to remember, this is Uncharted. In the context of the game, you're not ready for this. So when these guys crawl out of vents, start chasing after you, start sprinting after you, and all you got is a little MP40 from Klaus over there that's probably like 80 years old. I'm surprised it still works. It's kind of scary. You kind of poop your pants a little bit. So after a little bit in the hallways, you hit the generator room, you turn it on, and what the hell is that music? And this is another section. It's kind of a repeat of the one with Eddie before. It would be really nice to have him here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I really miss my wigger.
But I like this one even more because the red lights, the dark atmosphere, and just the fear of being in this dark, cramped space works so well when these 20 of these things are coming at you and you gotta run frantically to each room, pull the switch to get out of here. So once you get out, you also probably get the most important piece of the narrative here, where you learn that The El Dorado statue actually curses whoever opens it and turns them into these people. And these zombie things are actually the Spanish explorers that tried to find it years before. Now you also learn why the colony was all blown up before when you were in it. And I actually just really like the idea that you're fighting the original treasure hunters that were trying to find this thing and the people you kind of been chasing around for the whole game. So, Elena gets taken by bad guy 1 and 2. That's not really that important, honestly. But the next part I really enjoyed because we get another gameplay change. They essentially just combine fighting the normal enemies with these monsters into one big chaotic battle, and I love it. It's a fantastic change of pace once again. And on hard mode especially, you gotta contend with these deadly mercenaries and these zombie things that can kill each other, but they will also try to kill you. And it makes for, I think, the most intense fight in the game, because you look at these swarms, these hordes, fighting these soldiers, and then when you clear them out, you gotta fight more soldiers while you're getting sniped at, and then more monsters show up. It's all of the gameplay ideas working together well in harmony. And as I've said a billion times probably, it's just such a nice change to the repetitive gameplay that we've been doing before, and it's short and sweet. It does not overstay its welcome. And that's about it for this section. I just wanted to make a video on it. You might not think this is very important. It's really not. I'm talking about Uncharted 1 after all. But I just didn't want to do like a boring review where I could fucking lambast everything this game does wrong, when honestly I enjoyed my time with it, and this section really stands out to me as a part that if I ever play this game again, this is probably the reason I want to replay this part. And man, I just want to spread a little bit more positivity, even about games that maybe aren't the best, but still hold creative and interesting value. And I would like to think, this is just speculation, that this is one of the main reasons this game got a sequel, because I don't see very many reasons why it would anyway. But I am sure as hell glad it did, because obviously Uncharted 2, 3, 4 are fantastic video games. Alright, enough of me sucking Naughty Dog's dick. Man, matter of fact, let me bring up something they do horribly in this game. Right after this part, that end boss fight, dog shit. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Now, jokes aside, this boss fight actually is one of the worst I've ever experienced in a video game, and whoever designed it should be ashamed of themselves. Alright, we're finally done here. Nate, leave us on a positive note. Say goodbye to the nice viewer who took the time to watch the video.
Adios, asshole.